One can argue that what is Louis' greatest comedy moment is that he is always missing the point. Yet at the same time, this is his personality, so it makes perfect sense. But I pity Scrooge for not realizing just how much of an, I want to say corrupt person this person Louis is. But then again, I think he knows. It's just that he is just so lazy that way. So sometimes I wish he will get a wake-up call, realizing that what Scrooge is trying to point out that hard work may be difficult, but it also will give you the greatest satisfaction. Hey everybody, this is the Anger and Fan the Despair reviewer, a late review of Ducktales, woo-hoo, Season 2, Episode 9, The Outlaw Scrooge Mcduck. Here we actually have a rare character that I don't think have been in a Ducktales series before, but I do think he has been in the comic book, John D. Rockerduck, except this time it's an ancient thing. Either way, this episode starts once again Louis being a lazy person, as well as giving up on his company just because it's too much of a bother. So Scrooge decides to sit down to hold another speech about Louis back in the Old West. As we all know, Scrooge is extremely old. It's extremely old when it comes in the series, about 140 years old or something like that. And tells at the time when he was in West and he knew the identical ancestor of Fenton, who was called Marshall. It was here I also met Goldie again, but they already had an established rivalry and were trying to get a gold piece. But just when they both were getting it and competing for it, and a character named John D. Rockerduck appeared and said he had bought the town and was gonna remade it. And then Scrooge and the Goldie was thrown in jail after they caused a scene. It was during there that they also met Gyro, who for some comical reason actually had used his time tube to travel back in the Old West, all the while saying, "I'm just a lowly outlaw, definitely not from the future." Scrooge didn't seem to have noticed that, but then again, it was such a long time ago, so it's very likely he wouldn't know. But it's also funny that Gyro is the one who reveals to the Marshal that John D. Rockerduck was actually historically famous for ripping off town. Realizing that way, Gyro helps the team break out, he doesn't help the team break out, but he actually invents mechanical horses, while Fenton's ancestor also is very, very excited about that. Once again creating a scene where Gyro is saying, you are familiarly frustrating to me." Eventually, Goldie and Scrooge gets on the train while Goldie tries to distract Rockerduck while Scrooge deals with Jeeves, the butler, and even manages to pull something on her. But in the end, though, they do get the giant gold nugget away from Rockerduck. Also, it's here that Fenton's ancestor actually invents an amateur version of Gizmo Duck. So in a way, it was fate for Fenton to become Gizmo Duck at all. But then Goldie and Scrooge drops it in a river where it falls into pieces, effectively creating the gold rush in the water, as they then decides to compete for that, even if they have the tender moment. After all of this listening, Louis asks what is the point of all this, so Scrooge drops the balls. How do you want to make your money? A swindler like Rockerduck, a thief like Goldie, or an honest hard worker like Scrooge? Unfortunately, Scrooge is missing the point, because, well, he was hoping that Louis would listen to the advice and saying that the point of the story is that Scrooge was in the right because he was the only one who was, the only one that was hardworking. But he forgot that Louis is always working for the easy way out. So during the night he calls Miss O'Gilt, although he wants to call her Goldie, he gets an absolute nut. and wonders if she can teach him to be as tricky as she is. All the while saying, yeah, that probably will make my uncle mad. It's a pretty of a heartbroken moment, but hey, this is Louis we're talking about. If there's anything I really wish for Louis, it's that he will actually come to realize that what he is doing is completely wrong. He has many company ideas, and he is always showing the corruption of it all. I mean, it's part of his character, so that can be funny. But Scrooge tries to teach him the value of hard work, but unfortunately Louis will never get that because he doesn't like hard work. He prefers the easy ways out, not even if he has an attention for detail. So what Scrooge needs to do is to show him what laziness do to accept hard work. So in a way he told the story the wrong way and Louis didn't understand it. But it was pretty funny to once again to confirm just how old Scrooge really is, 142 years old. Being stuck in a timeless demon dimension seems to have slowed down his aging, but it's not exactly known how much immortal it really made him. Another thing is that this episode is labeled with very many funny jokes. The end of it all, Louis being lazy and giving up, and especially the scene in the flashback when Goldie and Scrooge have an argument. And Scrooge says to Goldie, "Get lost, Goldie. I have enough of your trackers, you big babbling bazoo." And then Louis interrupts, Whoa. No old-fashioned words. Give him modern." And then we get to the modern word. Scrooge says, "Get lost, dude. You're busting my grill." And then Louis says, "Nope, not that." It's like he meant that. Gyro all undoubtedly stole the show, as he said he is. Been used the machine. It's even funnier by the end of the episode he actually gets back to the Scrooge Manor and says, "What year is it?" And Scrooge says, "Oh." Just then realizing that the genius crackpot he met all those years ago was a time traveling gyro. Once again, fate moves in a strange way. So yeah, it's a little bit heartbroken to see Louis misunderstanding, or, well, maybe not misunderstanding, just ignoring what his uncle is trying to point out. But it's Louis' character. So unless he is going to get a repercussion for it, we'll see what will happen. Give me your thoughts if you have any.